Hey, good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good night.
What are you eating there, Ciph?
Some baked chicken and some veggies. Some squash up in here and some peppers, I guess.
Did you know the show is a weird time to choose to you always do lunch at the show. Why don't right before the show or after the show? You do the lunch as the show.
Well, I'm up early and I always forget to eat in the morning. When I get here, there's no food in my house.
So you have to go cop food.
Yeah. So I just wait till I leave, but then I got to jump on a train and I get here, and then the only thing from the train to here is junk food.
So you have to wait till you get here.
This block.
This block actually has a bunch of healthy options.
It's all right. It's all right.
So what, you got some baked chicken and vegetables?
No.
All right. Well,
some
good.
broccoli up in here.
Okay. It looks delicious. Guys, very excited to close out the year with someone who we've talked about getting on the show for a minute. Cornerstone producer of Digging in the Crates. He's
DJ before that.
DJ before that.
Mixtapes. You wasn't around in the mixtape era, son.
No, I do not know the Buckwild mixtape story, so I'll be excited to hear that. And
never walked around 125th Street, mad niggas selling mixtapes on the corner.
Well, no, I was
S&S, Craig G, Ron G, Doo-Wop, Buckwild. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was there for a mixtape. It was not that era. It was Repug mixtapes in like 2007 that you would never want. But anyways, Buckwild is here.
Woo!
And welcome, man.
What up, what up, what up?
Yo, thanks for doing this.
No doubt. Thanks for having me, bro.
It's not us that's having you. It's hip-hop history.
It's hip-hop history that needs you.
Hip-hop history, we need you.
It's not that we have you or even want you. It's that we need you.
Y'all don't need me, man.
This is
you're a big part.
This is a story that needs to be told, bro. Where does it begin? I mean, obviously, are you always a BX guy from the very beginning?
We moved to the Bronx, I think I was about 5.
And where were you before that?
Harlem
World.
Yeah. I don't claim it though, but I claim the Bronx. Everyone says, hey, I'm born in Harlem, so I'm always rep Harlem. All my family from Harlem.
No, if you didn't grow up there at all.
If you didn't go to public school.
Right.
Wherever you went to public school, that is where you from.
That's a very good, that's a very good delineation.
Yeah, very good.
Because it's what shapes you.
Yeah.
Public school is what starts to shape you.
No question.
So for you, where in the Bronx? I'll skip first. I'll ask for Ciph.
Oh, South Bronx. 138th Street, Cypress Avenue. 141st Street, Cypress Avenue.
Ciph, how is that?
Not good.
Not good.
Not back then.
What were your parents doing?
My mom's was working. My pops was in and out. Not really there.
Not really
In and
around.
out of house or jail?
Nah, not jail. Well, you know,
Being
he
around.
wasn't there. You know.
Yeah. And was your mom into music?
Nah.
So where did this come from?
From my sisters and brothers, it was always records in the house and music. And ever since being young, my sister told me I used to walk around with this Whatnot's 45 all the time.
Really?
Word up. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
That was just something you gravitated to early, and people had records in the house, the 45s around all the time. That's how people got singles. This is in what, the late 70s, early 80s?
It was in the 80s. Late 70s, definitely. Because even thinking about it, it's like I remember when, I won't say when hip-hop started. Matter of fact, it was when coming in that time, because my brother used to go to like all these jams and shit like that. And it's like I used to be, you know, in the house as a kid. I had a little radio with like a 6-inch woofer or some shit, and I used to try to tape the jams from the fucking window.
Wow, from the window.
Yeah, because like, you got to understand, like, it's a different time, so it's like, you would hope, like, okay, the music is kind of loud, so you would get, like, a real faint noise of, you know, of them DJing. And then from seeing people DJ, I used to do shit in the house where it's like, I took one record player and put it next to another record player, and I learned how to DJ from the balance knob, from cutting from one side to another. I would take the spindle out, break up pencils, and put them in the middle so I could cut.
Wait. Explain that second part. What would you do with the pencil?
I would break them.
Okay.
Take pencils I have for school, I would take them, I would break them, make them short enough so I could put the records on and get them off quick and DJ back and forth. I learned how to DJ with, you know, balance, because it's like from one side to another. So how you have the right and then you have the left, you're like, okay, I'll use that and go back and forth.
And so it'll be on the right side and then on the left side. I still don't understand the pencil part. Ciph, what am I missing?
I think because the spindle was too thin.
It was, remember the big spindles?
Right.
The old ass record players.
Oh, I see. So it was too high.
Yeah. So you have to go through a left. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Oh, got it. You took out the thing and
Because you had to like put the record up high and then jiggle it down.
Yeah.
So he took that piece off. So the pencil's like how
this is
like
around the B1
is,
era, like when a lot of people talk about they DJ, like they had B1s, but it's like when you live in a hood, everyone don't have B1s. So it's like you make do with what you got.
Absolutely. So much of the early DJ story always involves someone with a belt drive, nasty turntable,
rubber band.
Yeah, for me, of course, the story is different, but it was like my parents' belt drive and a CD player was until I could save up. Then I got one turntable, then I have a turntable on one side, then you have a nasty belt drive, old one on the other side until you could eventually get there. So when did you save up and how did you end up getting turntables?
Sorry, before you get into that, I got an important question. Is there any other type of numbered pencils besides number 2?
It's a good question.
Nah.
I never seen.
We got to research that.
Why is it number 2
Google.
pencil?
I don't know, because it's shit.
I never seen a number 3, number 4 pencil.
No one talks about number 4 pencil. They get slept on.
Yeah, but are those different numbers? They are? What number are they? I got to figure this out. Sorry, Buck. What you're saying was way more interesting. Proceed.
So when did you actually get turntables?
Like one of my homies, he gave me a turntable, and well, let's go back. Once like the older guys in the neighborhood found out I could DJ, because it's like I'm thinking I'm only in about 2nd or 3rd grade. So,
damn,
yeah,
7, 8 years old.
Yeah, and once you learn, it's like it becomes easy. You know, it's little cats you see on Instagram that can DJ. So, my homeboy Pee Wee, I think he gave me my first set. And it's like, because he had like a whole bunch of B1s. And he was like, yo, here, rock with this. And it's like, that's how I had my first set in the house.
And then what kind of music did you start buying or collecting? Well, you had your siblings' records.
I had some records, but it's like we would go downtown and we would buy like Octopus Break Beats. We would buy the Paul Winley Mardi Gras, like whatever, we could sneak downtown and get. Because mine, we're not supposed to leave the block. So we would go down to Music Factory, take the train downtown, like me and one of my homies.
And where was downtown at that time?
42nd.
42nd Street, okay.
Yeah, so we go to 42nd, the Music Factory. I'm pretty sure Cipha knows what it is.
No, I don't know that one.
Yes, you do.
What?
Music Factory on 42nd?
42nd on what?
Broadway.
On Broadway, okay.
Yeah.
Music. I don't know that one.
That one and Downtown Records.
Oh, Downtown Records.
Downstairs. We would go to either one. It's like whatever little breaks we could get that we knew of, or we found a record, we would go there and we would cop a double. Whatever money we had, we would pull together from allowance or however we could make money, and we would cop
and share,
records.
and then you could share.
Yeah,
you just have them for y'all to use.
Everybody from that time, it's like no one really was the person to be like, yo, I'm going downtown and cop 2 records. Everybody always had, dudes that they rock with. If it was a dude who MC'd or another dude who DJ'd, they'd be like, all right, yo, you cop one and I cop one. Be like, all right, yo, I got one Heartbeat record. You got one? All right, yo, bring that over so we could cut.
Right.
So we would share. It was like a community thing. Mm-hmm. So the crates was always community. So, unless that was your crew.
And the crates always, like, the person who got serious about music and made it the career was the one who ended up with the crates. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody contributed, right? Everybody always contributed, but then you get older, you start getting into other things, and then you think back, you're like, yo, whatever happened to all them records I had?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Did you end up with the stash?
Nah, I can't even say that. Like I had some, and it's like by the time I got to high school, it's like I just quit. I said, "Fuck DJing."
And knew you wanted to make beats already?
No.
What do you want to do then?
I just want to buy sneakers and leathers, and go to school nice.
So what was your plan for that?
I don't know how I can make some money.
So, but you fell out of DJing for a while.
Yeah, it got boring. Like when you're doing it for so long, and it's like you're like, hey, well, maybe it won't happen. And even in my school, like not knowing now everyone who went to school. Like when I was leaving, like Sean Price was there, String was there, Craig G was there, all of these guys was there, but I never really paid attention to it.
Wait, what school did you went to?
Print and graphic arts.
Oh, graphic arts.
And it's like I didn't know all of them till like everything came up later.
Right.
And I was talking to Gemini, the Gifted One, the other day, and he was telling me, he's like, yeah, yo, you know, all of them did go there. He's like, yo, but you wasn't really into that shit. He said, I didn't know you was DJ until we cut school one day.
Right.
And we went to this other cat house, and he had turntables, and I was like, all right, give me the headphones. And I showed him I could DJ. He was like, yo, I didn't know you could do that. I was like,
Gemini, the Gifted One.
yeah.
You just brought it way back, son.
Wait, did you do the early Gemini the Gifted One?
Yeah, I did 2 songs for him, Scars and Pain and Story of My Life.
All right, well, so we'll get there in a second. Let's see if that's... So then what, so when did you jump into the producing side? What did you get? How did you do that?
No, you had to go back to DJing somewhere.
Yeah, all right, at the end of school, like there's Kid Capri tapes. I'm buying mixtapes. I was buying everybody mixtapes first. I was buying Kid Capri because Kid Capri would always play like the records nobody knew. So I'd always cop Kid tapes, and then his tapes started slowing up. Then one of my boys was like, yo, you know, you should just make your own tapes. And it's like, I would just take records and put my records on there. He's like, yo, you should just do it. It's like by this time, you know, I'm out of school, and you know, I bought 2 1200s, and I went from there, and it's like I started making mixtapes. But it's like a lot of cats in my neighborhood didn't know. So when they would find out, like some of my friends were still in school, they would be going to school, and people would be talking about it, and they didn't even know till when they found out. It was like, oh shit, I didn't know that's you. Why you ain't tell me? Well, I'm supposed to tell you.
Was it you didn't have the same DJ name or something?
Nah, I never really had a DJ name when I was young.
Oh.
I was just DJing. I just liked it, and it's like I was doing it.
Right.
Because back then everyone had the ski or ice or whatever, some shit like that. So it's like you had to go buy some shit like that.
You need to be a ski, an ice, a wizard, something grand.
Grand wizard.
You need to
like
be a master or something.
Grand master like Rock Raider.
Exactly.
You know? So, you know, that was the start of it there. You know, from DJing, you know, mixtapes, I met Finesse. And everything happened the way it's supposed to.
After that.
Yeah.
So was it first, for the production side at first, were you just watching Finesse?
Yeah, I did the internship.
Really? Hanging out in the studio?
Shit, I was with Finesse like every day, like fucking in the morning till nighttime. And it's like
Doing what? Doing whatever he needed?
Nah, like if he was going to studio, we would go to studio. If he had a show, Mike wasn't DJing, then I would DJ for him some of the shows. Wherever it would be, it's like, but by this time, it's like L was in the picture. We met L at the Hard Pack. You know, he spit for Finesse. Said, yo, he only wanted to spit one rhyme for Finesse. He spit the rhyme, and Finesse loved him. You know, like we was all together every day, like me, Finesse, Big L, Easy LP, and my man OG. And
wait, so the story you just told very briefly, you were there the first time you met Big L.
Yeah.
That's known.
D-Wiz brought Big L to Hard Pack.
And do you
at Rock and Will.
Were you struck by Big L right away?
Hell yeah. Like, here's this young skinny dude where it's like cocky as a motherfucker. And he was like, yo, dog, just bring Finesse down. I only got to kick one rhyme for him.
That's how he did it in a cocky way.
That's how he came in.
Talk.
Like,
yo, dog,
I only got to do one rhyme.
If I had LP number, I'd call him right now. He'd tell you, one rhyme. One rhyme. But he was just that dope. Like, you never heard, and it's like he was like, what, 16, 17? Never heard nobody rap that good that young. Ness heard him. Ness is like, yo, him. You know? And from then, him and Ness' relationship started.
And this whole time, while you're just doing whatever, DJing here and there, doing whatever you have to do, are you also like kind of doing an apprentice type thing with the beats?
Is your phone?
Nah. Hold on, that is my phone. Let me turn that shit off. Let me see how the beats start. At the time that we're even running around with Finesse, I wasn't thinking about beats, but it came to mind. And it's like after seeing it, because it's like, for one, we used to run around and listen to Finesse. We used to listen to Finesse all day. We listened, like me and my homies, we rode around and listened to Funky Technician, to the tape pop, and we had to buy another one. And it didn't hurt that AG was from the hood too. So AG was like about a good 4 or 5 blocks away, and it's like when we seen that, it's like, oh shit, Dre made it. Dre's on records, and Dre was always nice. So chance meeting in Rock and Will, I'm in Rock and Will, and it's like I walk in to bring a tape, And they like, hey, well, Finesse said he needs a place to make tapes. Yo, can Finesse make mixtapes at your house? I'm like, sure. And me and Finesse, we got cool from there.
And what equipment was Finesse using at that point to produce?
I don't think Finesse was used to 1200, but it's like, I don't think neither one of us had ours yet.
Oh, really?
Neither one of us, because remember, that was when he had the second album, Return of the Funky Man.
Mm-hmm.
And Diamond and Show, I think they did the bulk of
They
that
were still
album.
doing the bulk of it, yeah, that's true.
Even Jazzy, I think, did some.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Finesse didn't do, he didn't produce like on his first album?
He did the remix for a record. And, what he did, You Know What I'm About, the remix. That was, I think, the first joint he did, because I remember we was on a Source tour. And he had to fly home to do the record and come back because the record had to be turned in.
Right.
And it was another, the Yes You May remix, that was another one. All that was around the same time.
All right, so here's the question, because we have to start. Otherwise, when you get to the end and go, what are we doing? What are we doing? How do we get from then to this time? Because it's not a huge gap. Yeah, how do we get from...
that's easy. I can continue telling the story it was.
All right, keep going.
What do you mean? You're skipping over shit.
No, he's not skipping over shit.
Yes, you are.
What did you have for lunch? What did you have for lunch?
You're skipping over the main first record.
I'm going to break it down.
The Sadat X joint.
It was the Diamond.
Diamond was before that.
Yeah,
Diamond
you
was
fucking up. Hold on, Buck. You fucking up, Peter. Sorry, go ahead, Buck.
Sorry, I forgot that was first.
Diamond gave me my first check, which was for You Can't Front.
You Can't Front. Oh,
which I bought. That's when I bought my equipment.
Kendada. Who the fuck was Kendada?
Good question.
Me and my man OG, I remember we went and got our 1200 and 950s the same day. And it's like, that was from that time. And we were back from Source Tour. Diamond heard the record. He liked it. He took it. He added the strings on it. And that was all she wrote from there. I met OC and Organize and Red Hot Levatone and all these RSO, all these guys on the Source Tour with Finesse. Me and O clicked up when we was on the Source Tour. When we came back, we started cutting records.
Real quick.
Oh, shit. Yo, what the fuck is this,
Yo, that's that shit I was telling you about, Kenyatta.
What's this?
Kenyatta.
Yo, that's that Sadat X, Diamond D, and Lord Finesse piece.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, yo, you know this shit is real.
Sit on front, Jack.
Yo, you know this shit is real.
Sit on
So you
front.
just had the bass line and the drums.
Sit on front, Jack.
And Diamond heard it. He's like, yo, let me put this little part right here in.
Well, by the way, congrats to you for doing that. And also, just more evidence of what a fucking genius Diamond is. That he's like, I got the right weird strings I can add, and it'll go fucking perfect on this.
Yeah, you gotta see Diamond. Diamond rocks back and forth when he hear it. It's like, it's just epic. It was an epic time.
All right, cool.
But this is what I mean by apprentice. So it's like, I'm learning.
Right.
Every place I've ever been doing music, it's like I've learned. It's like I've learned from Diamond, I learned from Finesse, I learned from Show. So when we were on tour, it's like we cut most of the Word Life before he got his deal.
Right. He told us that.
Yeah. So when you look at it, this is the time when it's like, it's not like now where it's like, you get a deal and you can't use none of your records on your demo, but his whole demo was damn near on his album. And before that, I gotta skip back, because before that it's like I'm forgetting about Stress.
That's around there too. Right.
That was before that.
It wasn't before the Diamond record, was it?
No, Stress is after the Diamond record.
Oh, Stress. Organized Confusion?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, because when we came back,
Crush. Kill.
from working with O, then Monch wanted to hear beats. So when Monch wanted to hear beats, it's
I bet he did.
Now here he comes. Here he comes with the word. Here he comes with the word.
L is during the same time, right between Organized
what's Big
and
L?
OC.
Put it on. Right.
You didn't put it on?
I did Put It On. I did Danger Zone. I did 8 Is Enough.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Ness
8 Is
did
Enough with
Times Is
Cameron.
Hard. Yeah, and it's like I did
Birth
the
of Cameron.
Yeah, and I did the other record with Jay-Z and them.
Yeah, the collabo.
Yeah. So that record is around the time of Time's Up.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm normally really good at times to an exact science. These are blurry. This is
I forgot you did this.
These are all blurry
'Cause they're
time-wise.
the time was like this.
Big L-
It went quick.
I thought Finesse did this.
Nah.
Put It On was 94. The Organized record was 94.
And Big L is 94.
The Diamond D was 93.
Yeah. And it was a slew of remixes.
Right. So all of these. So basically, with all of these, there's no one in particular story. These are just all joints you're learning to do and working on, and
all this is in the process of working.
And Finesse is hearing them, and Diamond's hearing them, and are they helping you along? Just like, this is good?
Right now I'm good.
This is it. Now this is
I'm
all
on
you.
autopilot.
Now you're on autopilot.
Yeah, and I'm still learning because I'm still early in it. So it's like I'm buying better records, I'm finding drums, I'm finding different loops. So it's like I'm definitely on autopilot because when you look, and back then, remember the tunnel, right? Mm-hmm. And when you walk in the tunnel, if your record is not playing, it's frustration. So then it's like I go through a few years of frustration too behind that.
Trying to figure out how to go from making nice little songs to getting them in the tunnel.
Till we got the Biggie.
Till you get to Biggie. So we'll get there because there's stuff between.
Oh, now you want to hold up.
Well, now we're in the thick of it.
Down.
Now we're in the thick of it. What machine are you using at this point?
1200, 950.
Now both. Okay.
Yeah, listen to the drums, man. That's SP12 drums with the 950 filtered bass line.
Yeah.
Pow, pow.
Same hi-hats Pete Rock uses. Anybody who uses SP uses these hi-hats.
I won't say what it is. They might come after
I know what it is.
Ciph, do you know what it is?
Yeah, I do.
No.
Let's see. You did a song I just listened to last week. I didn't realize you did this.
That's a question. That's a statement I always get.
I'm sure. Well, a lot of them I know, but this one I didn't realize because I love. This is my favorite.
What's up, Aziz?
Yeah.
Maintain it, G.
I'm saying tough titty. Somebody got a Peter Rosenberg record. What's up?
Jazzy and smooth.
Yeah.
A
little offset.
And even with that, it's like I was kind of tight because, like, when you're on albums with like Pete Rock and Premier, you want a record to stand out. So by then, everyone's talking about like Rather Unique and Mo Murder, and it's like I'm like fuck. So, and working with AZ is not the easiest dude to work with either.
Why? In what sense?
Because he's super picky.
Brooklyn.
Super picky.
Yeah, right. And AZ's our guy. Super Brooklyn, for sure.
Super picky. He my dude to this day. We still work this day, but he's still super picky. Him, Nas. I can work with him now, and it's easy. I can work with Nas now, and it's easy. Because it's like now, as a producer, you develop and you know what they need. And it's like what they sound good on. Finesse was super picky, and Big L was super duper picky.
Really? Even from the beginning?
From the beginning. L used to disrespect me with the beats. Like, yo, dog, that shit whack.
You're like, bro, you don't have to go that far. You can just say it's not for you, thanks.
Just say skip.
Just say go to the next one.
But it's dope because it's like, when you have that, that's what makes you go harder. So me and L is basically doing the same thing at the same time. I'm learning beats at one time, and he's recording his first album at the same time.
Now, hold on. You did, it says here, it's like, you want to hear another joint that he did? You won't be surprised by it, actually. I mean, you won't be surprised by any of them, and maybe you remember. But it's funny, you actually do have a sort of a knack for doing, I don't know, some artists that were great and the songs were known, but for whatever reason, the credit just wasn't really out there like that noticeably.
Street records, kind of.
Yeah. I can tell you about that one too.
See, because it's funny. A lot of these songs are songs I love, but for some reason the producer always slipped through the crack on me.
I mean, now listening to it, it sounds 100% obvious, but
this sounds just like Ozone on OC album.
Yeah, it does sound just like
Same
Ozone.
vibe, and Raider did all the scratches.
What? I guess I didn't know you did this.
I don't think
it wasn't in the tunnel. Remember?
No, it was. This was definitely in the tunnel. Early.
Early in the time.
Early.
Not prime time.
No, not prime time.
Prime time is when you want to be there.
DJ Riz would play all these records early. Yep. This definitely was in the tunnel, son.
Really?
Well, we came prime time.
Like,
by the time you got there,
no, you came drunk hours. Like, yeah. This was definitely like a lot of dudes in the tunnel just nodding their head, like, yeah, that's that shit.
Early time. Let's see, Ciph. Do you remember that? Fast Life? You did original or remix?
Original.
The original Cool G Rap Fast Life.
We went away to do that. That was the first time I was in the studio with Nas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was that experience?
It was regular because like you find out that these guys want to be produced and you know they're not looking for you to be like, oh shit, I'm in the studio with Nas. That's probably what goes on now. But it's like they want to be produced. They want to know what's going on. Same thing with Jay-Z. He's in the studio. He wants to be produced. Same thing with Biggie. So you can't be in the studio and be starstruck with Jay-Z, Biggie, and Nas. And even with that, I found out me and Preem was the only dudes who worked with all three at one time.
You and Preem are the only ones who have worked with
Jay-Z, Biggie, and Nas.
Damn, you did Jay-Z, Biggie, and Nas. That's right. And we'll get there in a second.
Champagne wishes and caviar dreams. A team that's getting cream with shells and fish scales from triple beams. I clean, living a life for rally, packing rallies, rocking lizard valleys while we do a drug deal in a dark alley. Up in casinos, just me and my Dino Primo pushing Beamos, then Paulie and Reno with two fly.
That's 95 too.
Yeah, I thought this was like a Track Masters or one of those.
It was very Track Masters.
But they used to tell me.
Too.
Yeah, they did.
They was the ones was telling me like I need to do R&B. It's like I used to be like, nah, I don't want to do R&B.
Oh, make R&B records or use R&B samples?
No, I do R&B records. It's like, yo, you got melodies and
you got soul
stuff that you know.
Yeah, you ended up doing some, obviously.
Yeah, I did the Faith record. I Love You.
Is crazy.
I did work with Babyface. I was with him for about 8 months.
Really? Just doing what?
Working with him. I did a song for him, and I did programming for him.
And what was Babyface like? That's a different level.
It showed me. He showed me the parallel between hip hop and R&B. How it's the same. Like in being with him, it took away like, you know, the jitters. Like, hey, you know, well, can I do this? Like R&B is kind of foreign. And he's like, nah, it's basically the same thing. We just operating with loops.
Right.
It's like if you're doing a hip hop record, it's like if you got a change up, that's basically the same thing. He just showed me what was.
That's crazy.
Very cool guy, down to earth.
Did you see
Kenneth?
it?
Kenneth was a cool guy. Did you call him Kenny?
Yeah, what do you call him? Face?
He said, call me Kenny. So we walk in, we're like, yo, what up, Kenny?
Baby, what's up, baby? Yeah. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants
You
that.
can't say that all the time.
Baby.
Can't call a grown dude baby at all times. What about this one? You like this one, Ciph?
Shades of X and Mood Blue.
It is.
For all of y'all.
People often see me in jams and be thinking I'm high. No, that just leave me lazy out. What's your reply to the evidence?
Now, fuck, how are the checks for all these records? Let's get in your pockets like I like to do. In these early days, before you get to the big ones, and we'll get to the, you know, but at this point, how are the checks for these one-offs to these artists that we love? Albums that maybe sold 100,000 copies.
A lot of samples.
How are the deals back then?
Steady. It was. It was
consistent.
It wasn't like
he was on every album. You had an album cut on everything.
Everything.
At least.
Damn near for a while, but it wasn't like, let's say, being around Biggie, you know. Being in Daddy's house was the one thing that influenced me to be like, yo, you need hardware. Like, all these records is cool, but when you go to Daddy's house, everyone had hardware.
What's hardware? What do you mean?
Plaques.
Plaques.
Oh, plaques. Yeah.
Who do you remember who used to see and go, I need to be like that?
D-Dot. D-Dot was there,
yeah.
orchestrating the locks and orchestrating Biggie, and he used to tell me like, yo, you make dope beats, they just ahead of your time. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean by that? And that's what I'm saying in my mind. He was one dude, like, he was always in the dude corner where it's like, yo, you got dope joints, just keep coming through. So after Big died, that's how I got cool with D-Dot. That's how, you know, I kind of end up with like Black Rob and all the rest of the records there.
Well, we'd be remiss if we didn't spend some real time on this one. Now, did you do, when you worked with Biggie, was this in studio together?
I was there, and I was there for the mix. I worked with Biggie before with Red Hot Lover Tone. You got to remember that. For my niggas.
Wow. So that was way back. That's 93 or something. Beginning
93. That was the best session ever.
Why?
Because it was just, everyone wasn't on yet, and it's like, it was just, we just had fun and just had jokes the whole session. It was me, Finesse, Biggie, Akinelli, Red Hot Lover Tone, R.A. the Rugged Man. It was wild people there.
For people who don't know, I'm sure by this point people know that song, or at least know the sample because it was used on other things. That wasn't that time when Big was just jumping on a lot of like him and R.A. the Rugged Man. He was on like 3 joints with R.A. the Rugged Man.
Cut Renaissance and Puff It. They didn't want to clear it. And that was one of the best records ever.
Yeah, like he was on all these crazy kind of weird offbeat underground records. And this one wasn't as offbeat, but still just underground. And ended up being, did it end up coming out at all or bootleg only?
What, Cut Renaissance?
No, for my
niggas, it was out. It was a B-side this single.
For Red Hot Lover Tone.
Yeah.
So when it comes Red Hot Lover Tone, You know what? I realize people don't know shit.
That tone
from Trackmasters.
The tone is from Trackmasters.
Yeah, we got to get him up here too. We've been talking about that for 7 years. I'll see him somewhere. It's like he's very important. And yeah, people don't realize that he's the same dude.
They have like people say, yo, you have a magnificent discography. They have a magnificent discography.
Yeah.
Like the ones I always say this, the people who you don't hear of, sometimes they're less glorified than a lot of these other people, and some of them haven't really done as much.
Nah, it's true. It's funny. It's funny, like when we sat here with Salam a few months ago, and you just go through one after another, and you're like, "Holy shit, bro!"
Salam shit's crazy.
And I know because you and him are close, but like I didn't even quite realize a bunch of them. I'm like, man.
No, Trackmasters too.
Trackmasters is endless. But let's say this though: Trackmasters had that run where it was well documented and people knew. Right. So before and after they still did a lot.
Run and after the run, they had some joints.
But at least there was a time when everyone was like, "Oh, Trackmasters."
Yeah,
like
but us in the industry, it's not like they were like Pharrell is dope, but Pharrell is in the videos.
Right.
Yeah.
Trackmasters was behind the scenes, like them and like Salam, and it seemed like these guys who were just straight about music. They were about business, because I can remember Tone telling me, like, yo, man, we make shit, but it's like, yo, they respect y'all. Y'all do, like, nods and, like, nigga, like, y'all getting checks. Y'all getting heavy checks. Why do you want the respect we got? Don't trade that. So when they got nods, it's like...
Well, because the Trackmasters got knocked for a little while, too. They got put up, and then there were people like, I don't want, like, it wasn't like an aggressive, like, puffy, like, resentment, but there was a period when you saw the Trackmasters thing, you'd be like, I know how this is going to sound.
It was
ushered in a new sound.
And they ushered in a little bit of a shiny sound.
It was a big sound, and it's like, working with Tone and them, they showed you, like, okay, cool. Instead of just having a kick, snare, hi-hat, and a loop, you can layer everything between like Trackmasters and Hitman. It's like, okay, well, we can make these records where it's like we can orchestrate and put different instruments on top.
The Trackmasters brought in the Triton keyboard. The Trinity and the Triton. That was like the first ones to really use it on hip hop. And it was like, what's up with all these fucking keyboard beats? These keyboard beats is whack. And if you're like an underground head that loved samples, it definitely did sound different for a while.
Yeah.
They did. It was written on it. It was written was definitely a dope album to me. Mm-hmm. It was one of the best. Like, it's always Illmatic. And it was written, but it's like I say, it was written.
You're saying you're balancing between the two? Because you're talking crazy if that's what you're saying.
I take it was written because he shows the growth.
All right, we need you.
It's the growth on that
studio.
But he's not, because he's a producer. He was already by that point.
He's a fuckface if he's saying that.
He was not a fan at that point. You're already a producer.
We was listening to Illmatic when we had the cassette tape with 7 songs for like a year.
Mm-hmm. You bootleg.
And you still exactly. and you still like it was written more. If you had to choose one to sit with,
I would listen to It Was Written.
I do hear it every once in a while. I know that it sounds like crazy talk, but I will stumble. I interviewed Schoolboy Q. I think prefers the second one to the first one. Like, there are people who definitely, for whatever reason, they hear something on the second one that they like better.
Well, to me, when I listen to Illmatic, the only songs I really listen to now is like New York State of Mind and One Love. I'll listen to New York State of Mind on repeat for like 3 hours.
What about World Is Yours?
I listen to it too much. It kind of burned me out.
It burned you out, right.
It burned me out, but
Memory Lane
is cool, but New York State of Mind is just like...
I agree. You nailed the best two, I think.
It's a movie. So when it drops, it's like when you hear the...
No, New York State of Mind
yo,
is one of the greatest records ever.
Is that it now? Do you think now, Cipha, if you were to force... No one's ever asked this.
What?
To pull one off Illmatic. It's New York State of Mind, right?
New York State of Mind, hands down.
Like, what do you mean pull one? Like your favorite joint?
That's it.
Yeah,
you get one. It's got to be that one, right?
It would be out of 3 records. New York State of Mind, The World Is Yours, and One Love.
Yeah. New York State of Mind to me is like,
that would
I remember when I first heard it. I know everything about like, that shit is amazing when it still doesn't sound.
You know what else is amazing? The beat in the background.
Yeah,
which we're dancing all over. So
this is the Hot 97 bed record.
Yeah, oh my God, is it? By the way, Ciph, I'll tell you.
You're welcome for that because I put that in.
You did?
Yeah.
You put this in the system?
Yeah.
You still hear it to this day.
All my records are Hot 97 best.
Yeah.
My lifestyle, all this shit. So when I look, I'll be like, yo.
That's all me. I loaded all those records.
Thank you, Cipha. I gotta give you. Let me at least dab you up for that. You know what I'm saying?
Flex was like, yo, put all these instrumentals in. So
now, This right here, by the way, a lot of people.
Yo, so real quick, I used to load these records in, right? The instrumentals for Flex, but he didn't want other people using them, so he used to make me name them
weird shit,
whack shit. He goes, "Yo, call that Onyx Freestyle."
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, I swear to God. And I had a key sheet that had the fake name and then the real what beat it was.
What a piece of shit. He really is a piece of shit.
But then eventually people caught on. They just went to like date added and whatever new shit I loaded, they would figure it out.
Now, hey, a lot of people would, I gotta tell you, a lot of people would pull this one off Life After Death. If they had to pull one joint off Life After Death, a lot of people, probably myself included, it's right there in the conversation of the top few songs of the album.
No hook.
Well, let me say this. Let's go back to the magazine times. That's why I be saying a lot of writers don't mean shit. That wasn't one of the records that they was talking about. I've always...
you wouldn't get this first listen.
But it's like, you got to remember, music's supposed to stand the test of time. And it's like, when you look, like, a lot of these journalists, it's like, I've always felt that they've been a key of fucking up hip-hop also, because it's like, they dictate to the audience what they feel like, yo, this is what you need to listen to. You know? The only album, and it's like, they hit it on the nose is two, and I think Minya did both of those. It was the Outkast album and Nas's album. That's it. Every other album that became...
Minya's Misinfo.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well, I shouldn't have blew her name.
No, we say her name.
I say
I'm just saying, I'm just telling the audience.
That
why haven't we had her on Juan Epstein yet?
Touche.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm giving y'all all these great ideas.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are, Buck. Always the backbone of great creativity. So, how does this happen? They call you, and they and how does it? Did he hit you?
Nah, Biggie
himself. So
I don't really deal with like middlemen. Most of my times, I'm dealing with the artists. Like,
right? Because you make the ones that the artists want to do.
We're cool. So when you look at it, Big calls me. This is when he had his accident. He's like, all right. Yo, I'm working on my second album. I need some beats. And it's like, I can't move, but I want you to meet C's by the bridge. So I meet C's by the bridge, and it's like, I give him a cassette. The cassette had a song which was supposed to be a beat that the Locks picked. Both of them picked the same beat at the same time. And he didn't pick this one yet. And there was a few others that he wanted to use later. You know, we'll get to that. But when he hit me back a couple of days later, he's like, all right, this is the one. And I'm like, fuck, this is the same shit the Locks picked. So
what beat was that? Did it ever come out?
Never came out.
Oh.
Joe got a song to it. It's sitting on the deck. It's kind of cool when three people pick the same beat. But
yeah, I guess, you know, and yet it's not out.
No, it's not out. I don't do that.
I know, but how crazy is that? Three people who know their shit loved it enough to go, I need that, and it still hasn't seen the light of day.
Yeah. It's like, Premier has a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's too good. It's almost like there's too much around it and doesn't end up coming out.
Yeah, that's like having Nas songs. I've got Nas songs sitting on the drive that'll never see the light of day. I've got songs to sit, but it's like I'm not thirsty to be like, yo, let me just put this out so I can have some content. If I need content, I'll just make some new records.
All right, so keep going. I was about to go down another path, so let's keep going with this record. So,
all right, so Big calls, and
he picks the Locks one.
He picks the Locks one, but then about a week later, I get a call, and it's like, you know, having a real bad day. I get a beat, and I recognize the 757-0808. So I get a call. Hey, Puffy needs you to come to the studio and lay this beat. All right. First of all, I'm like, okay, what beat? So they play me the beat. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go down, I lay the beat. Beat is laid. Come back another day. Biggie has the rhymes. Think he laid it already. When I came back, he relayed it, and he relayed the outro. Same day we mixed the song. So we could go back in time. It's like Tone picked that beat for Foxy when she was doing her album, and she told Tone it was the worst beat she ever heard in her life. So we're mixing the song, and Foxy's there with Gavin. You know, this is the best time in hip hop because everyone's cool with each other. So, you know, she tells Big, like, yo, she's the only person I ever heard say this. Yo, Big, this is the best song on your album. And I look and I call Tone. I'm like, yo, remember the beat you picked for Foxy? He's like, yo, you know, she just told Biggie it's the best song on the album. He's like, yo, man, don't listen to her, man. She don't know. She could have had that. I was trying to push it on her. And, you know, from there, that's where, you know, it all started. It all went from there.
And how do you know more about the story of the song than anyone else, or are you just like the fans listening to the song?
I don't know nothing about that. I never asked them about none of that. Everything was always speculation. It's one song that always resonates because it's like because of the thing with the player, the New York Knicks, and all this other shit. But it's like Biggie was so witty that whatever he's made, even when he talk about dark-skinned Jermaine, people really believe it's a dark-skinned Jermaine. That's just how dope he is as an artist. And it's sad that even today we don't have these type of artists where it's like these type of things that resonate. He makes characters and it's like he makes situations that just seem so real.
From a story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I want to know who that bitch is, yo.
Right. And you know, it
Right.
could just be some random shit that he said, but he's so good at it and the image is so vivid that it has to be real.
We don't push the artists like that nowadays. A lot of these artists are just,
well,
they need production.
So I'm guessing that led to this.
Y'all get ready to put y'all
Later.
up on something, man.
A couple years later.
Yeah.
Like 2 years later, maybe?
You know what I mean? That shit is woke.
Did you anticipate this becoming what it became?
Nigga have a big
Nah.
Black Robbie? How could you have? Why would Black
Now
Rob?
you got the tunnel records you wanted.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Was it Story to Tell? So was Story to Tell tunnel record too?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not like this.
Yeah,
Not
this
like
is a club
this.
banger.
This is one
This
record
is a single
I go.
video club banger.
This record has a lot of. This beat has a lot of history too.
Why? What was the history of this?
First time I did the beat, I remember we was in session. I played it for Pun. Pun said it was the worst beat he ever heard.
Pun said that.
Pun's like, yo, go that way. You gotta remember, I used to be. This is the dude we used to be with like all the time. You know,
That's why we got to get Pun stories. How did Pun not?
Nah,
every beat ain't for everybody. I learned that
this
after
beat
a
by
while.
itself.
It was perfect for Rob for what Rob did.
Yeah.
Because Lenny from Rockefeller, he was like, yo, we need this beat. Don't play this beat for no one else. So he took it to Bleak. Bleak didn't like it. He took it to Mill. Mill didn't like it. And he took it to Jay. And Jay didn't like it. And then the record comes out.
I like it, but I can see how people wouldn't like it.
It's like you gotta have the right song to every beat.
No, but you're right. You know what? When you think about it in that context, it makes you give Black Rob credit for really
But
hearing what to do with
Even
it.
I got a story to tell. That's another beat I gave Jay and them. And when Jay was like, I seen Jay before we did In My Lifetime, he's like, yo, why you ain't give me the beat you gave Big? And I said, yo, I gave you that beat. Hip Hop's walking down the hall. Yo, Hop, didn't I give you that beat? He said, yeah, it was on the cassette.
What did you end up doing for In My Lifetime?
We did Lucky Me and Stevie J.
That's right. How was
Remember
Stevie
that
J?
Stevie J?
Stevie J is a musical genius.
Stevie J was. Remember that Stevie J? I love that Stevie J.
Yeah, it's like they know.
Love it. Hip hop Stevie J's a
it.
piece of shit.
No, I wouldn't say that. I
fuck
speak to
with Stevie J. I do too. I love
but
him.
To me,
No, but
he's a musical genius.
His music back then, son.
Even now, he
The
plays
shit
some
he
stuff.
crafted, like.
Sometimes you'll be wrong, you know what I mean? How could a motherfucker go around and hate it?
Yeah, look at you, these flossy ass sounds with Stevie J.
Huh?
Flossy ass sounds.
But it's funny, like when, like now you hear like this is Lil Wayne favorite record. I got a call like, yo, Lil Wayne wants the instrumental to fucking recut the record. I'm like, what the fuck? You know?
But were you in there like, Stevie, you lightening my drums too much, yo? My drums is too light.
Yeah, like he took the beat and he redid the whole beat and stripped it. But it's like I like jazzy musical stuff. So even though sometimes I'll make some real hard gritty stuff, but I like that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I can rock with that. Like, that's cool for me. And it's like, just listen to it. I just wasn't sure how people would perceive it. But then later, as years go on, you see people be like, oh, you know, what's your favorite song? Lil Streets is watching, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Oh, Lucky Me. Oh, word, you like that? I'm like, okay, cool. I can live with that.
And is that your only J record?
Yeah, I need another. Well, I should have been on a Black album. I was in a transition of, I remember we had the two-ways?
Mm-hmm.
Jay was texting me crazy on the two-way, and I got a BlackBerry. I threw the two-way behind the couch. Found the two-way one day. I see all these texts from Jay, and I'm like, fuck. I go to Rockefeller. I see Lenny. Lenny's like, hey, yo, Jay been looking for you. He's been listening to Word Life for X amount of months.
Crazy.
And wanted to get that sound. It was fucking with the sound.
I don't know what he wanted, but I just know it coincided because it's like, I wish I had the SkyTel page, and now I had at least a good 7 to 10 texts. Back to back every day.
They weren't called texts back then, right?
No, two ways.
Pages,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Pages.
So when you look at it, and
Two-way.
then for Lenny to say it,
I
I
saw
don't
you
think it's a
two-way,
lie.
Yeah.
You know?
I got to tell you, Buck, as we go on, the story gets crazier because you said you and Primo are the only guys to do Jay,
Biggie, and
Nas. But you also did Big L, and you also did this.
Dream Shatterer.
So not only did you do the big three, but you also did Pun and Big L, which is like
the other bigs, the three bigs.
I'm carving my initials on your forehead, so every night before bed you see the BP shut off the board head.
So what happened with this song? This is the version of the song everyone knows from the mixtapes or whatever. And then the album comes out, and real quick, and I say this with no disrespect, because I'm sure I'm friends with whoever produced the other one too.
Domingo.
Oh, I love Domingo. That
It's
one
a
is
remix.
but that one's shit compared to this. And I love Domingo. Domingo has joints, but it didn't sound right because I knew this version.
Black Rob too, though.
That version
Yeah.
got quotable. From what I hear, was a rumor that Puffy paid for the I Dare You sample when it's like it was a clause that no one can use it. But for him, that was a rumor.
Right.
But for him, we was at Showbiz birthday, and I seen Pun. Like, he's like, yo, man, what's up? You know, I did my album done. You ain't give me no beats, man. I was like, all right, I can use some beats. I was like, all right, you know, well, shit, the budget is gone. I was like, well, shit, just pick a beat. I'll just give you the beat. He's like, yo, you want to give it to me for free? I was like, yeah, let's just work. So he picks the beat, calls me the next morning. Y'all wrote the best song ever to your song. We went to Mystic out in Staten Island. And this is the only time I ever seen him lay a song with no punches. Pulled up in the studio like this, cropped up on the stool, set the mic up, and he ran through the whole song.
Damn.
No punches.
Yeah, no, you can tell that that's straight through. Way more than other
the
stuff.
pun edition with your hosties is unofficial. Wordplay, breath control. And when it came out, they gave him quotable. Like Riggs told me, like, yo, I was so mad. So many people were mad that this song didn't make the album. Steve, they should have gave me a plaque for Capital Punishment anyway. It was on the sampler, but everyone was mad. Everyone who bought the album, it was like, yo, this is not the version.
And I feel bad because this beat could be good for something else.
This is the version?
Yeah. But for this, because you already knew the original, it didn't sound like it worked to me.
I shatter dreams like Jordan, a sort batter your team.
Like Night and Day.
Be barred from Adam and Eve from the garden. I'm carving my initials
Same recording.
So every night
It's a remix. It's just a straight remix.
Shut off the board head. We first at a curse at the first whack. Nigga with the worst rap, cause he ain't worth jack.
It almost sounds off beat. Like, it's just not, there's something about that's not right because you could tell he so is on the original version, and then you ended up putting that on on the EP, the vinyl EP. That was when I was finally able to get a good crisp copy of it on vinyl.
I put two records that never came out there, that and Burn Me Slow.
OC?
Yeah. I wanted that on Word Life, and it's like, nah, we had fights about that.
And you did Bonafide. Did you do Bonafide too?
Yeah.
So that was the other Jay-Z record you did.
It ain't really
the Jay-Z and OC and Jay-Z.
This generation, they count when you got a side record. Like, I never worked with Busta, but Busta was on Come On with the Get Down.
Oh my God.
So when you look at,
oh my God,
I forgot.
When you look at it, people are,
no, Buck, no more talking for you.
People be like, yo, well, who you work with? And it's like, I have to answer like, well, who haven't I worked with?
We skipped over the 95, 96, 97 strictly vinyl college radio Buckwild era. Like
we fucked up.
So many.
We
joints.
really fucked up.
We could have did a 2-part series.
Yo, what? Hold on, real quick before we get. Because I'm pretty sure this is the original version. I think, but I think the remix is on here too. I thought that one's dope too. Don't get it wrong. But I'm pretty.
There's like xylophones, yo.
But I'm pretty sure that they included the remix. Yep, there it is. It's on Spotify. Yo, you're an asshole. This one right here.
I transmit the fatness over whackness with my Campbell blunts and matches. Other rappers try to catch us, but I roast them up for practice. So act like you knew or you'll be through in your division. I've been waiting and watching for you to fuck up your position. Man, listen, isn't this some shit for niggas?
I destroyed this record. I would do terrible cuts on it over and over. Well, what else? What other remixes from this era were there?
Is it like Mad Skills?
Funk Dubious.
He did 3
Funk
joints.
Dubious, yeah.
What, Rock On?
Caught Up in the Game, yeah.
You did Funk Dubious Rock On remix?
Yeah. Caught Up in the Game, Bushwhackers. It's a lot. It's like I can't even remember half of them. Because it's like you're going to the labels and it's like every week they got something for you to do. Yeah. Oh, you're here? You want to take a crack at this?
Yeah.
Oh, the Madism remix?
The Madism remix, bro.
Yeah.
That's like, I got to a point where I started playing that way too much because I loved it so much, and I realized I'm like, shit, I gotta play the original because people know the original really well, but that remix, hold on, people have never heard it because I know we got to wrap this up, but I know there are some people here who haven't. Who we're going to be talking about songs that you and I act like everyone in the world knows them because we're the all knowledgeable, the most high, but they may not know it. By the way, and I don't know if we'll have time to play it, the Funk Dubious remix was great too.
Thank you.
What do you mean we don't have time? Where you got to go? You got a date?
Well, I have another podcast, and Ant texted us and told us they have another podcast.
Oh.
There's reasons galore.
I know you're digging this type of shit right here. We about to spark it on the mic. Yeah. Come on.
I'm forgetting one too.
It's a bunch.
The episode starts when I walk down.
There was another AZ joint that was big. I'm Back.
Yeah.
I'm Back was big. And Fat Joe, you forgetting Fat Joe.
My lifestyle
is
huge. One of your biggest records, right?
That's a tunnel banger.
I don't know. I just make them and put them out.
Yeah, this is phenomenal.
This isn't done being used. This belongs in a movie somewhere. At the beginning of this movie, this song. Yo, Flex loves this song so much.
So much. Right
back at you, motherfuckers.
It was originally from a Flex album, right?
No, the remix was on K-Slay one of them? Or Flex?
I thought it was on a Flex album. The
remix with Jada, right?
Yeah, it was on like the Tunnel album or something. It was on.
It wasn't on the Tunnel album. It's supposed to be on. I don't know. They're supposed to use the song.
It sounds.
But to Take a Look at My Life, that was on K-Slay's album.
Take a look at my life.
Take a look at my life. You can see that I'm from the Bronx where we used to getting G-packs.
Who's that?
The other shit with Joe talk about. I'm here. It's like things is good. The birds is singing. That shit.
Yo,
Flex
man.
played that all the time too. That's why I said I have to think.
What are you doing now?
Me?
He's on Uber.
Yeah, I gotta get a ride. This day is crazy. It's my last day of work of any variety. I mean, this isn't work. The only reason this is work is because I have something else I have to do afterwards. Otherwise, this would just be pure joy. But are you
gonna hit that pickup button?
Yeah,
that
I'm
Uber
going to.
X.
I'm about to Uber X. But here's
why you always hit it so early, and then they always got to call you like I'm coming down. Why don't you just do it downstairs?
I'm not hitting it yet. I just want to have it
look
prepared.
like you're ready.
For 4 minutes.
Okay.
So if we hit it as we're taking our picture, 4 minutes, boom, 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 I'll walk right in.
All right.
Buck, are you happy though with with the notoriety you have?
What question is that?
The ultimate question. Like, do you feel that you've gotten your due, or are you a little too beneath the radar for your liking?
Well, I'm beneath the radar, but I'm cool with it. I love the fact of being able to have to play records for people and have them say, "Oh, you did that? I didn't know."
Yo,
it's not that I didn't know.
Like, even
it's
for
that
me
I
to,
forgot.
Like even like the last record I did for 50, Financial Freedom. It was one record that went bonkers on.
Oh yeah, and you've done 50 a few times too, right?
Yeah. Game. Nas. It's no one. Cause like that's why I say this generation is so crazy because it's like I don't count like Busta and Eminem and a couple of people, but if I want to say I work with these people, because Eminem rhymed on Time's Up at 8 Mile, I can say that. I'm one of them people where it's like it don't count unless it's a record where it's like you want to sign for it.
By the way, that's crazy. Have you ever come close to working with M?
Nah, Paul should send me a ticket so I could go to Detroit. You're cool with Paul, right?
Yeah.
Tell Paul to send me a ticket. I'm pretty sure it will be worth it. I might be one of the only dudes where it's like, well, you here, dude, and you understand what it is. It's like, I'm from that time. All right, like, the last record I did for Nas is the beat I made for him. You wouldn't understand. So I made the beat. I gave it to AZ. AZ didn't give it to Nas. I called Salam. Salam gave me a number to call. I sent it to him, and that's the beat he picked. After a while, as a producer, you get it. Like, Timbaland understands it. Pharrell understands it. When you're in the studio with a person, you know what they sound good on. You know what they're liking. All of this, send the beat in, and, you know, this is why the game sucks.
Riggs never tried to get you with M when he was over there? It just never happened. Whatever reason, it never happened. You never know what happened.
I need to talk to Paul.
Right.
Yo, Paul, if you're listening, send me a ticket. I'm pretty sure it'll be worth it.
Especially because that moment of M rhyming on those songs is pretty memorable historically.
You got money from that? From the 8 Mile?
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah, that's one. Remember, we just
OC
was saying that's a nice check,
and it came after.
Yeah,
it was like a legal. So
8 Mile is always on.
Always on.
2, I think between that one and Shaft, they put Woe in where it's like a minute and change.
Oh yeah, in the remake.
Yeah, and
what did they put in it?
Woe.
Oh, Woe's in the remake.
Yeah.
And what the fuck is his name? State Property 2. Like they took What a Thug About and put through the whole movie. That's another record where people come and they be like, "Yo, this beat that's playing through the movie. I didn't know you did it." It's like when they go back and they listen to the record, they like, "Oh shit."
What's the biggest? This is like your question you always ask. What's like the biggest one?
I don't know. It's hard to tell because it's like every record have a different impact.
What do you remember?
Like publishing check.
Yeah, most consistent check. That when you see that one, you're like,
when I see the statement, it's all
jumbled up, right?
All damn near the same because everything fits something different. Like I get a lot of licensing for movies and shit like that. So
I think it's Ozone. I'm just kidding. I know. I love that song though. Hey,
I love it too.
Hey Buck, thanks for making time for us.
No doubt, man. I'm glad.
And if is ever a situation which like there's an artist out that you just would like to get to hear something, if either of us could play a role to send something along, Cipha won't do it. He's a piece of shit, but I'm happy to send it along. Because
so cool.
Listen, if I ever had an opportunity to session, let me sell you. Let me come in and be like, oh, y'all never heard of Buckwild? Let me play you a few of his joints. Because that shit that you have is, I mean, even knowing before I had you what you had, it's still overwhelming when you hear them back to back.
Thank you, sir.
It's an elite class you're in, my friend.
Thank you.
And makes me proud because it's from DITC too.
It's crazy because when you look at it, when you're around Preem and it's like, and Paul and them, like these dudes where it's like, I looked up to, and it's like when they see me and they tell me, large professor. For those who don't know, like
the extra large P,
extra P.
I call it the Illmatic crew. Like those guys is like for them to recognize. Besides, like my crew, it's an honor because it's like I used to play they shit. Like these guys is incredible.
I agree. I concur.
I mean, and the fact is, all those guys that we love, you've had more commercial hits than probably all of them. Just saying, it's one thing that you probably have on all of them. Commercial?
I think so.
What's Premier's biggest commercial hit?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
What's Pete and Pete has Reminisce. He'll always have that, but Large Pro. These are the greatest producers of all time. I'm just saying, you get to know that you have your own. They may have more underground bangers if you add it all up, but you hit a certain level that a lot of them never got to. As far as like radio smashes that weren't sellout at all, like you kept it completely. It's not like Whoa is some. It's not like you stepped out and fucking glossied up your style to get Whoa or My Lifestyle.
Nah, LP told me that. He was like, yo, man, you made the only bad boy record that I ever liked.
Exactly. Oh, he's celebrity. He means besides Biggie, though.
He was dead ass.
Besides, not including Biggie?
This is a Biggie
but you gotta remember, like
a fucking underground bangers.
A lot of underground cats, and I won't even call them underground, a lot of cats really felt it. As soon as you say bad boy, it's like, oh man,
they got too affected by it.
Yeah,
they let it all get.
Yeah, like Biggie's first album is straight hardcore.
What? And not to mention, and probably 50-60% of the second album too.
Yeah,
40-50%.
It's polished though, but it's like
it's polished.
The way Stevie scored it, it's like a movie. And I tell people, if you want to hear arrangement, like these guys who play keyboards over records,
listen,
that's the best ever.
I think before you ever even try to produce, if you put Life After Death headphones. You have to sit like on your couch or in your bed with headphones and listen from front to back. It's fucking phenomenal.
Listen to surround sound. When you hear it, everything
all the
that
shit,
comes in and
the
out.
Music comes from the left and the right.
It's bonkers. Hey, Buck, happy holidays and thank you for doing this.
Sir. Same
happy holidays? That's what we're doing?
Sorry, it's tomorrow's the holiday. It's the day before.
What is that?
I know you don't
12
do
days
it.
of Christmas.
But I'm just saying though, this is a non-perishable.
It's endless. It's timeless. Happy holidays every year from here on out. Forever, okay?
Every day is Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
That's what my man Mayhem says.
Hey, peace out, motherfuckers. Happy holidays to everyone.